Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about 10 big changes that Rockstar made in Grand Theft Auto Online from the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC update. So let's jump into it, and starting with sort of the most recent change that Rockstar made, because today is Monday, December 19th, the price of the newest vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online, the Class A Tahoma Coupe, has now returned to its original price of $1,500,000. So if you did not jump on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, now unfortunately, if you really want this vehicle, you're going to have to break out a little bit of cash, $1.5 million. It is now no longer free. And as a reminder, that was our reward for actually completing the heist challenge, where Rockstar gave us a goal of $4 trillion or $1 trillion, and we broke it of $4 trillion. And so that was the one we got for free, but now it no longer is. Now, one other thing that I think is pretty cool from this vehicle, just kind of messing around with it over the weekend, there's actually two interesting liveries that kind of have one, an Easter egg, sort of a throwback, and then one of them, I guess, could kind of be a reference to like Cops and Crooks. The first livery is called Hot Ring Throwback, and you can see there on the hood, it has the Sprunk and Sumo logo. It also has 27 written on the side of the car, as well as a handful of other in-game sponsorships like Atomic, Chapal, Fix Up, etc. If you guys played GTA Vice City, you'll probably recognize this livery. It's the same one that can actually be found on the Hot Ring Racer. Obviously, just a little bit different, the one featured in Vice City, but you can see that's the exact same design that Rockstar was going for there, so a nice little throwback. And there's also a really fun livery as well. It's called Donut Time, which you can definitely make look like an in-game cop car. What would have been the best is if they had actually put the lights on top or somewhere on this vehicle. Then it would have really felt like that. I can only imagine this is Rockstar kind of nodding to the Cut Cops and Crooks DLC that we never got. So if you ever wanted to roleplay as that, now you can with this Donut Time livery that most definitely looks like a cop car. Now, staying with some of the vehicles from this update, there's also another car that came out about a week ago that also has an interesting livery, and that is the BF Surfer Custom. So there's one livery on there called Peace and Love, and it essentially just writes love on the roof of the car with this sort of windy flower in multiple different colors. And you might be wondering, is that a reference to something? And the answer is yes. And I don't actually know how many of you guys played the first ever Grand Theft Auto game over 25 years ago, but there's a van in-game called the Love Wagon that has the exact same design. And because that game was top-down, all you could really see was the top of the vehicle. And so you can see it has that stereotypical hippie paint job, a flower scheme, and then the text of love on the roof. So another really cool throwback right there, as Rockstar references a vehicle from one of their previous games. Now, again, staying with the new vehicles that was added, another one that was introduced is the Zirconium Journey 2. And what's really cool about this, and I don't know if this is specific for just this car or other types of vans, but you can actually stand on the roof of this. Let's say you have a friend or a crew member driving it, or you're the friend or crew member driving and you have someone up on the roof. They can stand on top and you're not going to fall off no matter how fast you go. So I don't know how useful you might find this, but if you ever wanted to try out some hijinks or some shenanigans, you can do so with the new Zirconium Journey 2, and you can actually stand on the roof. So that's kind of an interesting quirk and perk of this vehicle that you probably didn't know about. But anyways, let's move on, and let's talk about a couple of features of the new MTL Brickade 6x6 and the Freak Shop that was introduced. So one thing that's actually really cool, I'm sure you guys know, you can actually call Mutt, who's the sort of the man in our acid lab, and you can actually check on your supplies, you can buy supplies, you can source supplies, you can, for whatever reason, pause production if you want. But one thing that's kind of neat is you don't actually have to go back to the acid lab. You can actually just look at the data that they provide you. So you can see that my current supply level is 1%, which is really low, but my product level is around $140,000. So you don't have to make those senseless trips back to the MTL Brickade 6x6 or to the acid lab in order to actually check how much product you have. You can do it at any place and any time just by calling MUT. Now, additionally to that, if you are in any trouble for whatever reason in the MTL Brickade 6x6, let's say you get a 2, 3, 4, or 5-star wanted level, just like a lot of the other vehicles that have sort of interiors to them, so think of the Avenger or the MOC, it is a way in which you can instantly lose your wanted stars. So you can see I've caused a little bit of destruction here. I've got 3 stars. I just popped my way into the back of the acid lab, and I'm only in there for 2 seconds, and I jump right out, and sure enough, I've completely lost all of my wanted stars. So that is a super easy way in which you can avoid having to get rid of the cops via Lester or simply evading them altogether. So some cool feature of the MTL 6x6 that you probably didn't know about. And speaking of the MTL Brickade 6x6, you store it in the Freak Shop, and there's actually these set of pallets that you can see sort of in the back. And when you first get the Freak Shop, it's going to be empty, but as you complete a bunch of missions, it's going to fill up with a bunch of random props. And you're probably wondering, A, where those props come from, and B, how you get them. So starting from the bottom row from left to right, you can actually see that there's some blue barrels. In order to get this, you have to steal from a rival gang. So this would be by calling MUT, and you load a truck at a warehouse. In order to get the yellow tub and barrel, again, you also call MUT, and you have to steal acid from a crash, the green poison on the ground. The chest is also from MUT. This is an airdrop where you fight Merryweather and shoot the chest out of a tree. The bags of grain also come from MUT. This is the O'Neill Brothers tractor mission. The copper wires in front of the Ben, this is from Dax's heavy metal mission, where you recover the stolen copper wire and you drive it back in a pickup truck. The blue gas can is also from Dax, the crop dusting mission, where you destroy the weed farm with the crop duster airplane. The Go Postal crate is from Dax's working remotely mission, where you use the Go Postal remote bomb. The orange gas can is from Dax's liquid assets mission, where you destroy the Epsilon weed and survive the acid high. And the red tub and clipboard is from MUT stealing Dilutamol, the mission with the 3 vans. And then the middle row from left to right, the multicolored tubs, that's from the initial setup. And the Merryweather crate is from Dax's write-off mission, where you have to destroy the Merryweather depot. And then located in sort of another room behind the weapon workshop, these appear to be props from the first dose missions that you complete as you go throughout the story. So if you've noticed some random things appearing in your Freak Shop, well, you actually get them by completing the first dose missions, doing Dax's Fooligan missions, and then also doing sourcing missions from MUT. Now, a couple more changes that Rockstar made over the weekend. The first is they actually removed some of the gang attacks, and I don't know why they chose to do this. Maybe it had something to do with the missions that they added, but the first one is in Mirror Park. It's near the Utopia Gardens construction site, and the other one is in Prosopio Beach. It's near the Dignity Village. So I don't know why Rockstar decided to remove those 2 gang attacks, but they did. They also introduced a couple of other fixes. One is for you guys on the PC. Apparently, text chat should now be working properly, displaying messages from other players and not just from only friends. So if you guys were on the PC, that is a nice fix. Apparently, they have also disabled another business battle. Again, I'm not sure why, but this is the factory raid one, and apparently it was disabled due to reports from players that the hacked panel is bugged. So obviously, not being able to complete it, Rockstar just sort of yanked it from the game. And there's a couple of other things that they ended up yanking from the game too. One of them is actually a Dax mission. It was actually a variant of his Fooligan job, Heavy Metal, and it actually takes place sort of underneath the city in the sewers. And according to players who were able to get their hands on it, they encountered invisible enemies as well as NPCs stuck inside of a container. So I'm assuming those bugs were too much to fix, so they just ended up disabling it. And that's why we never got that version of it, because all the other Dax missions like crop dusting, liquid assets, write-off, and working remotely, they all have 3 variations, but there's only 2 working variations of Heavy Metal. And then the last thing Rockstar ended up doing is they got rid of one security contract, and that is the Simeon Asset Protection security contract. And my only guess is the reason they got rid of this was because it occurs at Simeon's auto shop, And now that we can actually go inside of Simeon's auto shop and we can buy vehicles, purchase them, test drive them, I can only imagine there was just a bunch of bugs or issues or glitches, so Rockstar just decided to get rid of it altogether. But anyways, that right there is 10 big-time changes that Rockstar made to GTA Online from the Los Santos Drug Wars update that you simply might not have known about. If you know of anything else that they've changed or updated or fixed that we did not get to in this video, please let us know in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.